Hi, it's Bear Gardner. Welcome to my updated brand new player bootcamp cards. This video is specifically aimed for new and newer players, people who've just installed the game. I hope you got signposted here for that reason. You could come here at different paces. I will be going through a number of things that I recommend you do at the start of the game to give you the best experience. I am a member of the Cards content creation program. I'm not affiliated with, endorsed by, or paid by 1939. They simply support me and have chosen to make use of my content creation work for new players specifically, which gives me a great deal of pride. It's something I want to focus on because I want more people to come and enjoy this game. So, I'm going to assume that you have just installed the game and you might be at varying points. You might have finished one or more of the tutorials, you might have finished all of the tutorials, you might be somewhere in there, you might be a bit further on, a bit lost, and trying to figure out what's going on. If there's a part of this video that looks like it's a bit earlier and you didn't do it that way, don't worry, almost everything that's here you can go back and do differently. I'll give you my top tips. There's also top 10 tips on my YouTube. Do plenty of new player content. But the main focus here will be on how to get to the best starting point in this game from a completely fresh start. So I will be taking you through a new account, showing you where bits are, talking about what I recommend you do, and at the end of it, pointing you in the direction of hopefully some more content that will make this game enjoyable for you. I hope this is useful. Okay, so let's have a look at this from the absolute basics. So we're going to look at this as though we're literally just installing and starting the game. So the first thing you're going to see is the training campaigns. And the intent will be to play through these. I recommend playing through all of them to unlock the decks. The two that you're given to start with are Germany and US. It really doesn't matter which order you do them in. Obviously, I'm not going to make you endure watching me play through all of the tutorials. You're perfectly capable of doing that yourself. So we will skip to what will happen next. So, next thing that you'll see is daily login rewards. For the first 8 days that you log in, they do not have to be consecutive. You will gain something. 30 diamonds, which is one of the few times you're going to get diamonds, which are a currency which normally costs real money. Then you're going to get 150 gold, a limited gold card, random choice. A draft ticket. Talk about draft in another segment. A 4-pack, 2 limited wildcards. Wildcards are cards that can be used to trade for anything. And 2 special rarity cards. We are going to claim our diamonds. And then we see the full screen. So let's talk about what this means. So we can see a lot of things on the screen. Places to start. So we've got this exclamation point on the shop, which is drawing us into the shop, which will show us different things. You can buy battle pass, welcome offers. These are things that you can go and look into. I'm not going to go into them in any great detail because they're not relevant right now. I will say, don't spend your diamonds or gold straight away. Hold on to them, do some research, watch some videos about where best to spend them. These are various things that are available in the shop, but the important one to scroll to every day, especially as a free-to-play player, is here. We would gain and will gain Act on the Intel as a free card. So when we click on this, we just get this card for free. It's ours. You will get 1 free card every day in the shop. This is important. So let's have a quick look around the menu. We can see our information here. So we only have Germany available. We can see how far we've progressed on levels. So we've gotten to level 7 here. We can see that we get wildcards, diamonds, national pack, more diamonds. This is the important one. At level 12, you will unlock a second deck. This is true for every nation in the game. So, if you are a new player, this is my very considered advice, and I strongly encourage you to take it. Before you do anything else, before you play games against other players, before you try to build decks or do anything, use the training mode, which I'll show you how to access in a minute, and make sure that you get all of your nation levels to 12. Once you have all of your nation levels to 12, you will find on my channel, and there are other places, but on my channel in particular, you will find that I have done a deck for every nation that you can build using only the decks that you unlock. However, and this is something I need to be very clear about, those decks require all 5 nations to be unlocked to level 12, because some cards come from different nations. Before you start opening packs or using wildcards, spending any money, doing really anything at all, I honestly recommend you just get your nation levels to 12. This will do a number of things. It will get you lots of packs that you can open later. I encourage opening them later for a different reason, which we'll cover in a minute. They'll get you all of your free rewards, so that you'll get a few extra diamonds and things that you can spend later, some gold. Again, I recommend spending later, and we'll cover why in a bit. And by getting to level 12, you will have familiarized yourself with all 5 nations and opened up a good-sized collection of starter cards. It's just my advice, but it is honestly the best starter experience. Doing it any other way tends to result in frustration, because you have a much more limited collection than you would have access to. Eventually, you will be able to click on each of these to see your nation levels, your progress, ranks. It explains the rank system. I cover this in my tips video, I'm not going to cover it here. This is just how we climb up, but this is for PvP play, and not something I recommend you even think about until you've opened up your collection. The Officer Club requires you to get promoted to Field Marshal, which is the top rank here, at the end of a season, to have access to it. This is not something as a new player that you should even be thinking about. I have other videos explaining this. Definitely check out my top 10 starter tips. Very quick video with some explanations of some of the things that I'm glossing over here. Something I'm not going to gloss over here is the crate system. The way this works is every week you open a crate which contains rewards. The level of the crate that you open is dependent on your progress in the last 7 days, so from Wednesday to Wednesday. You gain national levels, you open packs, you recycle reserve cards. This is not relevant to a new player. Surplus cards gained, which is duplicates. Again, as a new player, you won't hit that very early. All give you crate XP, upgrading your crate. Active Battle Pass, which is a monthly payment, not a subscription, you choose each month whether you want to buy it or not, will upgrade the crate 1 level from whatever it's at, and do some other things for you. I'll cover that in a moment. But without spending any money at all, you will be able to access rewards through crate by just playing the game and progressing, and you should. The base crate gives you a single standard wildcard. As I explained earlier, but I'll explain again now, a wildcard is a card that you can use to craft a card. Any standard rarity card in the game. Some wildcards are nation specific. The ones that you gain from crate are nation agnostic. You can spend them on any card in the game. Some of the ones that you gain from progressing levels, however, are locked to that nation. So you might have a standard USA wildcard, which you can only use to craft a standard rarity US nation card. You'd also get 30 gold. The standard pack gets you a second standard wildcard, 2 standard gold cards. Now, a gold card is just a card with a gold foil over the top of it. It's the same as a normal card, just looks different. It's prettier. These 2 standard gold cards are randomly chosen, but they are still standard cards that you add to your collection. You get 80 gold. The limited pack gets you a limited wildcard. Limited cards, so standard cards you can have 4 of in your deck. A limited card you can have 3 copies of. A special card you can have 2 copies of, and a rare card you can have 1 copy of, but only rare cards of your main nation, which we'll cover in a bit, not your allied nation, can be used. Get 2 standard wild cards, 2 limited gold cards. Again, they're gold foiled, but they are randomly chosen normal cards. A gold card is not better in any way than a normal version. Still a normal limited card, it just looks different. They are nice to have though. 150 gold, which is resource to spend. The special crate gets you a special wild card. As I said, specials are cards that you can include up to 2 copies of in your deck. A limited wild card, a random special gold card, 2 random limited gold cards, and 250 gold. And you can see that this is where the reward really jumps. Special is a good crate to aim for. The elite crate, if you can access it, gets you 1 elite wild card, special wild card, limited wild card, and 2 special gold cards, as well as 350 gold. It is a huge reward, but the system is designed so that you would have to do a lot of play and gain a lot of advancement to regularly unlock the elite crate. It is likely that you can quite consistently get limited or special crate. Elite crate, for most players who are playing relatively casually, is only going to be a thing occasionally. I'll explain how in a bit. Or if you have a battle pass. This is not in any way dodgy or questionable, and I want to make that clear. There is no pay to win here. This game is completely playable for free. It's just like any game, it's slower if you play for free. You can put money into it to progress a bit faster and support the developers and keep the game alive, but you're not required to, and you shouldn't unless you can afford it and want to. There's absolutely no need. You can get to Field Marshal, get some good results with no money spent at all. I've done it many times. There are videos around here to talk about that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But I will emphasize that you do not have to spend money, and I don't advise that you do until you're comfortable doing so. Now, I did talk about elite cards, elite crate being sometimes achievable. When it comes to the crate system, the thing that is important to note is that opening packs of cards gains you crate progress. You will gain packs by advancing, but also there's some for your there's at least 1 pack in your first 8 days is given to you. You'll also get packs as you advance your nation levels. You can also buy packs in the shop using gold. You could theoretically use diamonds, but diamonds are a elite currency. They require real-world money for you to have access to them. You can only get diamonds beyond the ones that you get very early in the game. They give you a few. After that, you can only get them by spending real money. The main currency that you'll be using is gold. In the shop, you can scroll along, ignore most of this, really just ignore it. It's not something you need to think about. Keep your diamonds safe for if you ever need to spend them. This is where you can look. It is possible to buy packs. You cannot buy, so obviously the bulk purchases, diamonds only, you actually have to have enough diamonds to buy them. However, you can always buy 1 pack with gold, and you can do this multiple times. If you have 300 gold, you could buy 3 standard core packs. If you have 330 gold, you could buy an officer pack. Early on, you want to concentrate on using your gold to buy these core packs most of the time, because you want to get a broader collection. Officer packs get you rarer cards, but they get you less access to the broader cards, and it takes time because they're expensive. Net result of this is that you should purchase, generally speaking, a combination of the latest expansion and the previous expansions in standard packs, but core and winter war. So there will always be core, which is everything that has come before, and then whatever the current set is. At the moment, the current set is winter war. It's the latest release. Buying these only gets you cards from Winter War. It's much more limited than buying core. But if you buy a core pack, you can get them from anywhere that isn't Winter War. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's how you get packs. If you keep your packs, then you can open them all in one go on a Wednesday morning or whenever before the crate before you open your crate, before the crate opens. Usually you want to do it before the window closes. And you can boost your crate by doing so. And for an early player, that might be a good way of occasionally getting an upgrade to a special or elite crate if you want to do that. That covers the basics. Then in play modes, you have the starter campaigns. As I say, go back, complete all of these before you do anything else. You've completed all of those. Use the training mode, which will allow you to take a deck of your choice, stick to the starter decks until you want to build decks. You can build decks, but I don't advise that until you have a collection. And play against. Training is against the AI, it is not against an actual person. You keep doing that until you get to level 12. If you want to play against other people, and you can live with maybe having a harder time with it, you can also take a starter pack out and play against other people. You will get more XP, but you are more likely to lose. Because there will be people who have built decks, who maybe have better collections, who are climbing the ranks in a different way. So my advice is to get to level 12, whether by playing the AI or playing some battles or a combination of the two. But get all of your nations to level 12 to unlock your base collection. And that's the core advice for starting the game. And while doing that, don't spend anything, don't open your packs. Just focus on getting that done, and then we can come back once we've done that to figure out what we do next. So this is the opening of what to do as a new player. That's my advice, how I think you should go about it, and how you'll get, in my opinion, the best experience. I'll be back with the next part. In the meantime, stay good, humans, and I hope you enjoy the starter campaigns. Okay, so through the power of time dilation, or editing, whichever you prefer works best in your head, we've arrived at the next part. I have taken all of the starting nations to level 12. So I went through the beginner campaigns, then I carried on playing either ranked or AI. I played some ranked games. You can also play against the AI in training, just gain some XP and build up your nation levels. And when you get to level 12 at each level, you get a deck. So I've unlocked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completely new decks. I've also, incidentally, reached rank 18 from rank 5 on the rank system, doing literally nothing. You can see my stars here other than playing it. I've not made any changes. I have played only the starter decks and was able to compete quite nicely. Got myself up a good few ranks, which is really good. That's not actually the main point. If you need to use the AI, or if you're hopping in and out, or you want to play casual games, whatever works for you, but focus on getting the rewards at level 12, because it opens up the collection. The other thing I've done is collected my rewards, opened all of the packs that you get on each kind of thing. So as you'll see as you climb up, you'll get a total of 5 packs, 1 for each nation. You'll also get some gold, some other bits and pieces, and once you unlock them all, you'll have your base collection. Now, the thing about the packs is I don't account for them in like starter videos and stuff because they're random. I spent my gold, which I would always recommend doing if you're new, on just basic packs, the basic 100 gold packs, whether it's Winter War or Core is really up to you. It depends on what you fancy. You can go and look in the collection. I'll show you in a minute to filter by the thing, but you can buy these, the 100 gold packs. These will pad out your collection quite quickly. Going to want to do this for a while before you reach the point that you're starting to feel like you're going to get a lot of duplicates and you've got a lot of special, sort of rare, sort of limited and standard cards. You want the specials and elite cards, at which point you're going to want to start saving up and getting officer packs, which are 330 gold. You get slightly more cards and much better cards, but the time at which you switch that depends on the player and how your opening goes. You will also have picked up some nation wildcards. You will have one wildcard, unlimited wildcard from every nation. You will also have gained a standard wildcard from one of the recruit missions. I have completed 4 of 12 of the recruit missions. We will complete the rest of them as we go along. Obviously, I recommend doing this. You'll unlock new things doing that. Net result of this is I also leveled up my crate and hit special crate just doing these things. Just getting to level 12 and things like that. So, we can get to see how crate works. It's almost like I timed filming these things. Good lord, does this man plan? What we're going to do is we're open a crate so you can see. So I have the special crate. When I claim my crate, what will happen is it will open. So I can tap claim it. Crate opens, and we get a special wild card, limited wild card. Then we get lovely gold special wolf pack. Nice card. Obviously these are random. You will not get a fixed one. Priest. So limited card. Get a second limited card. In this case it's Italian. It's the Livorno regiment. And finally, 250 gold. Which of course we can then go to the shop. Pop across to here. And we will buy ourselves one standard pack from the corset. Just doing this for the sake of it. You can buy whatever you want with this, but this is, I recommend these packs. So we have 2 packs. And I will show you that we do this. So then obviously at this point we have no crate progress. Go to open packs. Standard cards, we did quite well. We got a special out of this card, Divine Wind, which is always nice. Pop another one, second pack. This is always the fun part when you're new to the game. I miss this. I've been around a bit longer. Mobilization, good card. Glamour Boys, we've got some good cards in here. Note, great progress. This will also happen when you play games against the nations. So, at this point, you can go into your collection and see where you're at. So our collection has 12 new cards in it, so let's tidy those up. You can always scroll down to here, and then you just click on the new cards to have a look at them, and it takes the new tag off them and makes the annoying exclamation point go away. Because I don't like gold exclamation points all over my screen. I am that human. Some people probably leave them if they can't be bothered to go looking, but it would drive me insane. So I always come and tidy this up, and then we clear the filters down. This is the collection. There are a number of things we can do from here. Let's start with checking the level of our collection. So we can click on the graphic, and if we close this down, you can see it tells you the percentage of each set that has come out that we have. So, current set is Winter War. All of these are still playable. There are some cards that rotate out, but you cannot get those through opening packs and things. Don't worry, you're not going to get useless cards. This just gives us an idea of what we've got. You can also filter by nation, so you can see how much of each nation you've got, each thing, and things like that. And you can collapse it down to get a more detailed view. So I've got 37% of the standard cards from the base set. Only got 6% of the standard cards, but I have got 22% of the standard cards from Winter War. For some people this might be relevant. The next thing you can do, obviously, is we can look at cards. Now we can search. You can use the search filter here to search by name or keyword. You can also use the filters down here, which you can, so over here there's filters on the right hand side. You can filter by unit type, which is going across the way. We have infantry, artillery, tanks, bombers. Then down below we have fighters, orders, and countermeasures. Below that you can filter by the cost of the card. Below that we can filter by the nations of the cards. Germany, Britain, Soviets, and US and Japan are the main nations. France, Italy, Poland, and Finland are ally nations only. This means a number of things. Firstly, their card pool looks a little differently. It's smaller and sometimes has very powerful effects in it. Secondly, they do not have elite cards, they only have special cards, because as an ally it is impossible for them to run elite, and obviously you can't choose them as the main part of your deck. You can also filter by rarity, you can filter by set. You could look at reserved cards, you don't need to. Reserved cards are cards which are currently rotated out of the game. They might rotate back in again, but at the moment they're playable only in classic mode, which you're probably not going to be worrying about. This is the best tool you have for seeing what you've got, seeing how your card collection is looking. In particular, for example, we can click on this and we can see that we've actually done really well, because we've got the 5 base elites. You will get 1 elite for each nation, but we also gained this. We gained an extra US elite that we just opened in a pack. You might not. Obviously, you can then look at special cards. If you click the little outline at the top, this means it will show you also the cards you don't have. From this menu, you will also, if you look at the card, have the option to create that card, which will consume a wild card. I do not recommend doing this as a new player until you really know what you want. But again, your wild cards come in flavors. So, nation wildcards, that is anything that comes under one of the nation symbols, can only be used for that nation. So we have 1 limited card that we can craft of each nation. Anything under the ace, the kind of the spade symbol, can be used to craft any card in the game, as long as it's of that rarity. These are relatively rare. You shouldn't spend them loosely or quickly. You should really think about things, which is why, if you go to the links, which will be down below in the video, you can see my starter guides to how to put together starting decks. Because it can be a thing when you first have a limited collection. So, from the beginning, you will get the Britain starter, the Britain follow-up deck, which is called Finest Hour, the US starter, the US follow-up deck, which is called Steady Does It, which introduces another ally. The Brits introduced France, the US introduces Poland, Germany introduces Italy in the starter, Blitzkrieg is a German-US deck, the Soviet starter, and then you get You Shall Not Pass. Below this, there are 5 decks. You also get the Japan starter, Death is Duty, and below that there are these 5 weird-looking decks which will not be on your thing, but the links to them are down below, as are the links to the videos that talk about them. These are starter decks that I built with my experience in the game for new players. I've built 1 deck for every nation, which is a starter deck that moves towards what are considered to be kind of classic deck playstyles in the game. These decks require no packs to be opened. They require no wildcards to be used. I build these decks specifically and update them to only use the cards that you unlock by reaching level 12 in each nation. They only use cards from those decks. Several of them, however, do use cards from a chunk of, if not all, of those 10, which is why I recommend you get to level 12 on every nation before you do anything else, because it gives you the biggest card pool and will make sure that you can craft these decks. Or rather, not craft, you can import these decks. There is an import function. You can copy a code. When you click on this, if you click on import, whatever code is in your clipboard will populate the deck that you are importing. You can also use battle ready decks. This is how you would access any of the starter decks that you have, any of the follow-up decks that you have, and any complete deck that you buy from the shop. Even if they're deleted, you can always get them back by using that function. And of course, new deck lets you build a new deck. Obviously, links all down below. Go take a look at those. These are good decks to play with from here. So, where do we go from here? We've got a starting collection. We've maybe gained some ranks depending on how we got to that starting collection and what comes next. What comes next is finding out what's fun for you. Now, my recommendation is to have a look at the content creators that are out there. Not just me, there are others, but my content is very specifically focused on new players. Maybe try out the 5 decks. Once you've hit level 12, you can play each of those decks for a bit, see how you get on, and find out, does one of them feel right to you? And you can look at other videos that talk about the decks. I've done some videos on these decks in later stages and how they play at the upper end of the game and talk about different things. Also in the video, each of these 5 decks I know I'm plugging endlessly. I talk about an upgrade path and give you a code to import of the upgrade deck to aim for, to help you with like what cards to put in, what to change, and where it comes from, and what you might want to craft if you find you really like the deck. So definitely check out those videos. At this point, we should have you at a point whereby you've had a really, I hope, positive starting experience. So put you in a place whereby you have got the best card pool you can have at the start of the game, got access to all of the available decks that you can get for free, you've got a decent amount of resources, you've probably opened some interesting cards. Carry on and finish all the recruit missions. By all means, definitely do that. Play things that you enjoy. Check out the other videos to see if there's anything from in there that you would like to add. Grab whatever you kind of enjoy, play them, try them. The main reason I plug them is they're free. You don't need to do anything. You can play them just from what you've just done. After that, dig into all the content out there and enjoy the game. Above all else, don't ask yourself to do too much too quickly. Don't worry too much about climbing rank after rank after rank and rewards early on in the game. Focus on enjoying yourself and finding decks that you enjoy, and come and engage in the community. Check out the Cards Discord, all worth coming along to. If you have any questions, you can always message me, at me in the Discord. You can comment here on YouTube, all of the usual stuff. As ever, of course, I have to say it, please feed the algorithm monsters. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. But above all else, just keep being a good human and enjoy Cards, which is a great game and a great community to be in. It's been a pleasure to do this, and I will hopefully see you with yet more content in the future. Overall, just welcome to Cards. I hope you stick around and enjoy the community and the game as much as I do.